Now, I always say that science is the art of understanding truth and beauty. And on this year's series, we've certainly had some science. We've been telling the truth. We did that earlier with our reed buntings and adders. And we've had beauty, those goshawks. But what about the art? It's time for some art. I'm very pleased that I can introduce you to Mark Antony, aka ATM Street Artist par excellence. Great. Thank you for coming along.
Thank you. You're
hard at work already, but before we get into the mural that we're painting here, why murals? Why not canvas and paper?
I really liked the idea of using art to reach a maximum number of people and getting art out of galleries, doing street art, especially for something that's kind of important to spreading the word about the importance of the natural world and the dangers that it faces. That's basically why I want to paint outdoors.
And what came first, an interest in wildlife or art, or both?
As a small child, I was obsessed with both, actually. Yeah, I was obsessed with birds and drawing and painting them. And as I grew up and went to college, I painted lots of different styles, lots of different genres of art, but I've always loved nature. And in these times when it's really so important to get the message across to as many people as possible about, you know, the beauty and importance of the natural world, this is really what I you know, gives me the passion to keep on doing.
We can take a look at a couple more of your pieces of work here. Kestrel here in a very urban environment. A lot of your work is in urban environments. We're trying to get people to focus on the wildlife that's there.
Well, exactly, and I mean, this is an interesting metaphor because that was on emergency housing made out of shipping containers, and it's an image of an ideal wildflower meadow with all the inhabitants that it has, you know, without pesticides, without herbicides. That was a collaboration, the meadow, with Karen Francesca, but the whole thing is a way of showing what we've lost and what could actually potentially return if we give more care to our environment.
And what about this one? This one is outstanding because here the colours of this magnificent stag beetle go perfectly with the wall that you've got it on. Yeah,
one of the great things about doing street art is every wall is completely different. It's got different surface, different textures, colours, and every brick wall is you know, a kind of almost a painting in itself. And so when I'm using different colours on different walls, then the interplay with that is so much more interesting than just a blank white canvas.
Where is that one, if people want to see it?
That's at the Hold in Ipswich, the archives in Ipswich.
Fantastic stuff. OK, well, from that wall to this wall, and you've got started here with a very charismatic species, the Ladybird spider.
Yeah, I mean, it had to be part of this mural depicting iconic heathland species because it was considered extinct and it's just been rediscovered relatively recently, and it's got a very unique life history which is dependent on particular heathland habitat which is to be found here at Arne.
Yeah, well, this is the male, the one that you're painting, the brightly coloured one. The females are larger and black, but as you say, they disappeared until 1979. There's been some fantastic conservation work that's been done. Since 2000, they've been moved on to 20 more sites to secure their future. And we think we've got 1,000 spiders now. They're even thinking of moving them down to the southwest, which is fantastic. Yeah. What else have you got on the wall then, aside from the charismatic Ladybird spider?
Well, there was a whole kind of, you know, spectrum of species that could have been chosen to represent this area because it's you know, got multiple habitats and really interesting. But I chose some classic heathland birds like the dartford warbler, and then I wanted to show the different amphibians and reptiles as well. Well, this is not an amphibian, obviously, but there's a sand lizard, and then I've got some bell heather that's going to go there. Then
nightjar,
a nightjar
wasp.
And a purbeck mason wasp, which again has got a very unique life history.
Well, we wish you well. You've got 3 more days to finish this, and if you want to follow Mark's progress, you can on our live cameras. We've got a little gazebo for you in case the weather turns bad, so you can keep working. We're very much looking forward to seeing the result at the end of the week.
I've come down to the RSPB Arne cafe. Would love to stop and get a cup of coffee, but no time for that because I've come to check up on our street artist, Mark Antony, also known as ATM Street Art. He's been doing an amazing job at painting a mural. He chose species that Arne is famous for, that really celebrate the rich biodiversity found here and the various different habitats. And these will be here for many years to come to remind people of what an amazing place this is. And you can see that he's made excellent progress in just 4 days. Mark,
Nice
great to meet you. Wow, this looks amazing. You've really done well in 4 days, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been a big job, yeah. A lot of things going on.
Let's have a look at a couple of them. Let's move up to this one. This is the Dartford warbler. I mean, I know why you've chosen the Dartford warbler, because it's a real sign of hope here in Arne.
Yeah,
Went from
yeah.
2 pairs
Yeah.
in 1965 to 86 pairs last year. Was it difficult?
Well, I mean, as with all my subjects, I want to try and capture the energy of the bird, and they're so characteristic, the way they move and the way they kind of bounce around on top of gorse bushes, that I really wanted to capture that energy. So.
Well, I think you've captured it beautifully, and obviously the red eye and the red chest as well. It's stunning. Sand lizard, again, I know why you've chosen a reptile, because it's one of the few places that has all 6 of our British reptiles. But why did you choose the sand lizard?
Well, it was largely for the colour, really, because I wanted to get a nice sequence of colours going through the mural. So it's the bright greens and yellow. It's like a kind of jewel-like colours, which really complement the other colours well.
Yeah, a good choice, because I guess if you'd chosen one of the others, it would have just been all
Yeah,
very brown.
maybe too much brown, yeah.
This is a nice addition. I mean, it really bursts out that purple colour.
Yeah, this is bell heather, and I put this in because it's such a characteristic plant of the heathland, and it's so important, particularly for purbeck mason wasp, because it feeds on the larva of the heath button moth, which is only found on this plant, and the adults also eat the nectar, so it's a significant flower.
Well, that brings us to
Yeah.
the one on the end, the mason wasp. I mean, that looks incredible, the way that you've done that. That must have been really hard to get the detail and the different colours.
Yeah, painting small insects is a challenge, because every part of their limbs has got a different angle and different movement on it, so it's quite, yeah. It's
One
a
of the
challenge.
rarest invertebrates in the UK.
Yeah,
One of the few sites that it's found on. I
found
mean,
only here. Yeah, it needs the heathland soil, but it also needs closeness to water, and it needs the heath button moth. So yeah, it needs a lot of unique things.
and what's amazing with all of these is you've really got to understand the animal to be able to get the detail when you're painting it.
Yeah, yeah. I use lots of reference. I do lots of drawings beforehand to try and understand each animal as best I can, really.
Mark, thank you so much. I mean,
Thank
you've
you.
done an amazing job. We haven't even mentioned, obviously, the nightjar and the ladybird spider, which is gorgeous as well. But thank you. I mean, look at this. When you stand back and look at it, it's absolutely stunning. And obviously, this will be here for many years to come to celebrate the success stories of Arne, as well as our time here. It's nice to leave our mark, isn't it?